First of all, I want to say I'm excited to be here. I said before, and I'll say again, whenever I hear about impact or anything that would lead me into sharing some stories, my story, and from experience and things I've learned in this journey of life.
Hello and welcome to Obehi Podcast. I'm your host, Obehi A14, and I strongly believe that everyone has a story to share. Now let's get started into this episode.
Few years I have spent so far, it gladdens me, and it just gives me so much excitement. And I really want to express my sincere gratitude to you, Mr. Obehi. You're doing this, reaching out to people, ensuring that people get access to lots of information and learn stuff. And the funny part is some people actually pay huge amounts of money to listen to this podcast, to learn what is being said here. And the fact that you go out of the way to reach out to, reputable people and people that are skillful in what they're doing, it's a thing to celebrate. I celebrate you, Mr. Obehi. God bless you. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. About me, I'd love to say I am the Wazobia of Nigeria because I was born in the West, grew up in the East, still in the eastern part of Nigeria, and have little affiliation with the North. My grandma is from the North. So yeah, Wazobia it is. So I'm from Anambra State. I studied law at the prestigious university here in Anambra State, Ezepue University, Oka, Anambra. And I'm a content writer. I'm also a business collector. I'm passionate about business a lot. So yeah, that is more like the basic part of the whole thing. So
That's
subsequently,
lovely.
Thank you.
That's lovely. So you are really the Wazobia now. Tell me a bit about your background as you are growing up now in your young adolescent years. What do you remember of those years as you are growing up?
Well, growing up, I was very curious about life. I was ambitious. I loved academics, education. I remember then I would always study before time, like solve a lot of math questions, read my biology textbook. I was like prepared, and my school then was very competitive. So a lot was expected from us. We couldn't afford to play around. So it was mostly like I was under a lot of pressure to deliver, Then that was from the academic side. The social side, I had friends. We used to each other, play, talk about stuff, talk about our circles and what's going on. I enjoy music. My family was quite close. Just the four of us, I, my older brother, and my parents. So just sometimes talk about stuff. My dad would travel for business and come back later, so we spent most of the time with mom. So I think our lives were just, I won't call it constrained, but it just revolved around school, the neighborhood, church, and home. So that's about that. It was as I went, because my secondary school was in a federal government college. I think that's a big deal in Nigeria. Should I say that? Federal government colleges are like a big deal actually, I mean it. Yeah, a lot of federal governments all around the country. These are like, as the name implies, owned by the government, and so a lot is also expected of them. So going to a federal government college, and for the first time, a boarding school, I was exposed to more knowledge, more academic feats and achievements, social life. I wouldn't really say I had an active social life. I was always, and then well, by the grace of God, leadership position came. So I was a prep prefect, I was chapel prefect. I participated in competitions. I won a scholarship. I was in the debating club. I was in the press club. So I was always busy in quotes. So yeah, that was more like what my life was all about.
All right.
So I started. At some point, I also loved like the whole everything literature. I can remember very well that I loved science a lot. Like introduction to technology was one of the subjects then in secondary school, and I loved it. I loved biology. In my SS1, I actually got the best in biology, regardless of the fact that I was an art student. So it was. I remember how difficult it was to choose between arts and science. It was very difficult because I had passion for subjects like biology, technology, but also I had conflicting passions because I also had passions for literature, the idea of reading novels. I read a lot of novels. I went through literary analysis over and over again. I read a lot of poems. Like I just had this passion. So I guess I just had to choose art over science because of my love for literature. At some
That's
point, I actually thought I was going to study English and literary studies or English and literature, because of my love for literature. So,
that's great. So now you are connected to different part of the country, from the west, from the to the north to the east. Now, so can you tell me which part you actually grew up in? Uh, Help me understand that part, and also the part that influenced you the more in terms of culture. Yeah.
wow, the East, obviously the East. I lived in Aba from 2003 to 2013. Then I completed my senior secondary school education in Enugu. So that's like 3 years in Enugu. Then 5 years in Oka as a university student, a graduate in law. So, and irrespective of the fact that we had just recently moved to Calabar, I only spent maybe weekends or a week or just, and the culture of Igbos love to travel home for Christmas. If you understand what I'm talking about. Even those of them in the diaspora, every Christmas celebration, New Year celebration, Easter celebration, they come back. You understand? So from usually like so when first semester begins around November, December, that's Christmas period, there is obviously no need going back to Calabar. So my parents from there would come down for Christmas. So I would just join them from here. So you can see from this that largely like the East was like, and it got to a point I even had to, it helped, going to Enugu helped my language. I got to learn Igbo very well, being in Enugu and all that. So it gave me an edge. But when in my first year in university, usually everyone has to go through what we call general studies, GST 101. It's 101 is English, 108 is Igbo language, compulsory for everybody, regardless of the fact whether you are Igbo or not. As far as you're in university and you're a first year student, you have to go through general studies, and Igbo language is part of it. So I used the opportunity to, because I love to teach also. I organize tutorials for students, even my friends. It was like free classes. I didn't monetize for something like that. I organized the classes. I just love to,
To share your
translate
knowledge with the people.
the, yeah, actually. So, and I'm happy. I was so happy that a lot of them, passed their GST, because most of the time you see students even in their final years having carryovers from day one GST, Igbo language. So it was a challenge, and I, in my little way, tried to provide solutions since I had, a background knowledge in Igbo language and my love for the literary part of it, because usually first semester is a grammatical part of Igbo language.
Let's move it to the content creation. How did it start with you? How did you get into content creation? Because there are people out there who want to get into content creation, or maybe they're already in it, they want to know how to be profitable or how to do it better. So tell me how you got started in it.
Well, funny story. It was actually during the pandemic that I laid my hands on the skill content writing. You mentioned content creation, and at this point, I would love to, there is actually a difference. There are in the whole content and writing niche and concept. There are different sub concepts in them. You have content creation, you have content marketing, you have content writing, you have copywriting, you have SEO writing, you have ghost writing, and I think that's about lots of it. So content creation generally is creating content. And this is where we find the difference between content marketing and content writing. Content marketing involves publishing, promoting, and creating content. So it could be any content. The videos, the skit makers, those that make online now, they are creating content. Videos are content also. You understand? But content writing now is the planning, writing, and editing of content. So this is now, as the name implies, only. So that, this is very important that we go out there and say, okay, I'm a content writer. Another person comes out and says, I'm a content marketer. So these are two different things. So, but content marketing is the entire content creation. It could be video, it could be anything. While content writing is writing, publishing, writing, and editing articles and blog posts. Meanwhile, it is not just limited to articles and blog posts, but we have audio, we have ebooks, we have newsletters, we have video scripts. Most of all the videos we watch on YouTube are people actually write for them, and those the bloggers, they read out the scripts. So the scripts are prepared by content writers. So that we won't limit our minds only to writing for blogs and websites. That's not all content writing all about. So that being said, I was mentioning before that I learned content writing. Funny enough, during the pandemic, I just arrived home. One of my writing mentor, actually, his name is Mabu. He has a channel on YouTube where he posts his writing videos, and so far he has trained me and so many other persons. He put up a class, just a 2 week class, and I gave it my full concentration and participation. It wasn't easy, network issues and all that, but I tried to find my way around it. I learned into it, and after that, I will talk about this later, but let me just mention it. I was, scared of putting myself out there. I was always thinking, maybe I need to learn a course, maybe I need to buy a course, maybe I need to attend another class. But my brother was like, hey, you just learned this thing. Put yourself out there. I'm a content writer. Put it on your social media handles. I was like, okay, let me give this a try. And I did it amazingly. That one post got me my first employer, got me my first boss, my client. And I was shocked. 2 months later, I think I learned this in April 2020 during the pandemic. In April, then by June, I had gotten a bigger contract. And one thing about writing is, as the more you do it, the more you get better. Actually, my life coach always say that we are like wine, and wine gets better with time. And he also says that once you dedicate at least 3 months to a thing, that you would master it, and it will open for you. It will open up for you. So one of the things I'm happy you are bothered about Africa. I would like to encourage people out there. People might say, I tried to learn how to write. I'm not sure it's my thing. But they tried only once. People are out there sending in proposals for jobs, applying for jobs, getting a billion rejection emails, and they still go ahead to apply. So when there is a will, there's a way. No matter the obstacles or whatever hurdles you think you are facing, just try to fight back against the wind. You will break through. So I was talking about the fact that you are burdened about Africa history and all that. I think there's something about Africa on your profile. And the average African man, number one, loves quick money. Okay, not just the average African man, but people generally want something sharp.
So now we go back to what we were saying before about content creation. You were saying that okay, there are different ways that people create content, which is really very interesting. Now, what part of the content sector are you mainly in? Are you into video creation or mainly into writing? So explain the part that you are mainly into.
Well, I'm into content writing. Yeah, content writing. So I mentioned earlier that content writing and content marketing are two different things, because content marketing involves the entire thing, publishing, promoting of any content, video, audio, whatever. But content writing is writing, editing, and preparing content.
All right, that's
So
cool. Yeah, please go. So I wanted to ask you. So in where you are in Oka, um, how is the industry of content creation there? I mean, how much do people value it? How much? What is the importance of it where you are, for example?
mm, where I am right now, like, if not all of us are literally writers. I mentioned to you how my coach in writing is like a guru, an authority in the whole industry. He has worked with a lot of clients, and now he has niched down to blockchain and crypto writing. But earlier, from every year, he organizes free classes, and I was opportuned to be part of one of the classes in 2020. That was how my writing journey began. Though before that, I think I used to write news content for one of the news sites, Opera. So I was preparing news content, but after that, I got to know about the class and decided to participate in it. So all of us are writers. We are writers that are doing very well, very successful, and the goal is just to know that there is a skill out there that can be the answer to your prayers, if I can make that statement. A lot of people are saying they don't know what to do. And I was saying something before about the average guy or lady looking for something easy, something quick. They want to make fast money. They want to something that will just sell. And that is why there are a lot of scammers out there, because they can always leash off people's greed and discontentment. So a young African guy or lady should first of all understand that there are no limitations. That your hands can actually be busy, that you could actually do something. I know how I started writing. As I told you, just attended the class. They gave assignments. I did the assignments. In the class, I wasn't even like the highest part, like one of those that are doing well in code, but I tried my best. I did the assignments. I followed through all the instructions and all that. And here I am. By God's grace, I have trained writers myself. Sometimes what I just do is pick up some persons that are really close to me, people I meet online. I get to know what's up with them, and some of them say that they have no money, they're trying to do something, they don't know what to do. I'm like, why don't learn writing? You are smart, you're intelligent, you can do this. Then, okay, how do we go about them? Okay, take these videos, watch them, send me your assignments. Funny enough, a lot of them will not even give feedback. They're like, watching videos, learning courses. Who wants to do that? So I have no time. I'm tired. Yeah, how much am I going to make from it? What would they even pay me per word? What would I do with that? But we need to fight greed and laziness. We need to take it out of our body, because there are opportunities out there, opportunities to be financially free, to make impacts, to rule our world, literally. So let's be willing to work. Let's be willing to learn. I believe we start from there. So the average African guy, like I said before, should be willing to work, willing to start from somewhere. And most of the time, you never know how far these things will take you. You may just learn the right thing and eventually meet a client that would pay you your dream figure in code, but you have to pay that price to learn the entire thing. So that is what I have to say for now.
Yeah, I find it very interesting what you're saying now because you see, uh, in Nigeria, in Africa, okay, let's say in Nigeria in a specific case, we say that the youth are do not have job to do, but we forgot that this is a new economy now. This economy, nobody's going to give you job. You're going to have to give job to yourself. If that is the
Yes.
case, the question is, what do you know how to do? Can you sing? Do you know that there are some people who love listening to songs? That makes you already, that means you already have something in your hand now. If you cannot
Mhm.
sing, can you paint? Do you know that there are some people who want to put paint in their house so you can just frame it? Somebody can even help you to frame it. That means that you already have a product in your hands now.
Yes.
If you cannot paint, can you write? Do you know that there are a lot of people who are looking for people to write for them?
And sorry to
Yeah, yeah,
cut you
please
short.
come in.
I did a research and I discovered that, okay, I think from either hotspots or EHRFs, the statistics there shows that over 85 or 86% thereabouts of businesses literally depend on content marketing for sales and for growth. So I know the world is becoming a global village. Businesses are springing up. People are registering their stuffs online. The whole world is going online. Everyone knows that the online world, if I can use a term like that, is the in thing, is the big deal now. In a lot of people, and this is the reason why everyone now has to prioritize having data or Wi-Fi. Everyone just cannot afford to not be on the net. The world has become a global village. So a wise youth would take this opportunity and equip him or herself with digital skills so that you would be properly positioned to earn, to network, and to have a better life.
All right.
Because
Can we say that there are
no,
some challenges for these people who want to go out of the rat race and start something for themselves? Do they have some challenges from maybe the one that you know, even looking at yourself, for example? What are some of these challenges?
well, as funny as it may sound, sometimes we will think that one of the challenges, first of all, is ourselves. Mhm. That's the truth. A lot of people are not willing to give themselves that push, not willing to pay the price, as I said. I will always emphasize on this because once your mind is made up that you're going to learn this skill, that you're going to do this thing, nothing is going to stop you. That he was writing, and at some point his computer, his laptop got spoiled. So it got spoiled, and you know what he did? He told his boss, okay, just give me some arrears of my salary. Let me get a laptop, and then I would work to cover up whatever I took. Now, the average guy or lady would, your phone has an issue. Oh my God, I don't have a phone. Oh my God, I don't have a laptop. I charge young ladies and guys out there that you don't actually need a laptop to write. I worked for a while with my phone, my Android, my Samsung Galaxy phone. I worked with it. I made money from it. I made money, like I made 3 times what the phone was bought at. So it's all about determination. Nothing stops you when you are willing to work. When you have made up your mind, you could just take a loan. Okay, I need to get a phone. I need to fix my phone. My phone is 15,000 naira. Okay, can you give me this? Or if I need to get a laptop, it's just maybe probably $200. Speak to your boss. Okay, let's do this. I would pay you. You pay me a rise, and I will pay. I will work. Work back for the money. So the first thing there is your mind. you don't have any challenges if you want to go into writing. There are about how billions of young teenagers out there, as young as those in high school. They already have a phone. They're already taking pictures, posting on Instagram, doing it for the gram, posting on Facebook, posting on IMO, on Tinder, So that same phone that they use for their social media life and January, they could use it also to earn. But people, we are looking at two limitations. The first is that people want to make quick cash and people are not content. So until we solve these issues, then. But at the flip side, there are actually those who are passionate about this, want to learn how to write. Okay, if you give them a laptop now, they are set to work. If you give them a phone now, they are going to make money, they'll put their minds to it. Yeah, so those could be one of the little challenges, funds, money to them, the entire network thing, power. Some people stay in areas where there is no power supply. So, and most of these things like people who write usually make use of Google Doc app to write, and most of the time Google Doc, for you to use it, you have to be online using it so that your data and everything you're writing will be saved. So people may complain of power supply like in Nigeria, okay, but for those in the diaspora, those all around the world listening to us right now, you don't have an excuse. Just dedicate a few hours to videos, to courses online. Finish them. It's boring to watch a video and see a man saying a lot of things about how to write, how to include headings, how to write good titles, how to do keyword research, how to do SEO research and all that. People would prefer watching a movie, going to the cinema, taking a bucket of ice cream to that. So it's all about discipline. I want to do this. I really want to make money. And then one of the things that should inspire a youth to make this money is for those around you. Come on, there are so many projects to do, so many people out there to help. There are more pressing issues in life. There are families to take care of. It's not wrong if you are a young billionaire or a young millionaire. It's not wrong and it's not bad at all. It's legit. So and this also it just pains me a lot because now we hear about scammers, Yahoo in quotes and all that, all because of discontentment, indiscipline, and wanting to make money. So there are no challenges at all. Put your mind to it. Try your best to reach out to someone. And yes, that is another thing. Let me just quickly add this. I saw a video about a very successful sales rep or sales marketer or something like that. And he was saying that one of the things this generation has missed is asking and reaching out for help. Some of the youths of nowadays, the average Igbo or African man, his ego is his pride, and that is why, like, my mentor says that when he works with foreign clients, he'll be like, okay, my name is Mark. He's like, oh, Sama, Miss Mark, and he's like, no, I'm my name. But here in Nigeria, like, okay, my name is Mark. No. Holy sad, don't respect for me. So that is one thing. That thing will challenge a young African youth or African youth is pride and ego. Sometimes you just want. Sometimes your humility and meekness just be the key that unlocks you to your destiny. So sometimes you really need to sit down and learn. Reach out to people. Okay, hello, I'm Mark, your cousin or your niece or nephew. I really need to. I suddenly got passionate about writing, about graphic designing, about programming, and they said it cost me about $50 to get this in the train. And the person that is teaching this is a reputable, highly respected person in the field. Could I get $50? Probably as a loan, I would work and pay you back in 3 months. That $50 could literally, you could invest that in yourself and end making thousands of dollars from that skill. But how would you do it when if I reach out, I would seem beggarly, people would pity me. I don't want anybody to see. No one is pitying you. So many prominent and dignitaries, individuals in quotes out there, made it to the top because they had help from here and there. That is the truth we don't talk about. And that is what the young ones need to know. Most of the persons we celebrate today had people who helped them to the top. Had people, even some of these companies that do well, they had to at some point take a loan from them, which they paid and cleared off. They had people who helped them at some point. They had partners who believed in them. So, but if they had just shut everything in and stayed maybe in a closet, isolated themselves, oh, nobody cares about me, oh, I can't reach out to people, I don't want to give a false image, I'm not going to do this, I'm not going to do that, you would wallow in mediocrity and in, I don't really know, Sarah, but it's going to be so bad for you. But if you learn to chat, speak up, this is what I want to do. Could you sponsor? Could you loan this cash? I promise to mind it and get back to you as soon as possible. So yeah.
Yeah, thank you for that. All right, now looking at maybe people who want to get started in this content creation, say maybe in writing, and yet they don't know what to do, they don't know how to get started. What do you want to say about the basis of how to get started in writing? What do you need to know? How do you need to get started?
Writing, it does not. First, what you would first do is in your mind, just accept in your mind that this is not a big deal. And another thing that you should accept and tell yourself is that you don't. I've said it before. You don't need a laptop. With your mobile phone, you can go about it. And another important thing to me is that when we say content writing articles, blog posts, SEO, ghostwriting is like a situation whereby you are writing an article, but your name will not be published. So most of the articles we see on various websites, for example, you search top 5 Samsung phones of 2022. You would see many articles on the front page, on the homepage of Google. The first one, obviously, is the one that ranks high because of keywords and moves, SEO best practices. So you would notice most of all those articles, you would just see that maybe it's Samsung's website, Samsung, their company posting it there. But it was actually written by someone, by people like us and whoever wants to come on board. So your name won't be out there. So that's what ghostwriting is all about. Understand? So why I'm explaining this writing concept is because when you say content writing, people are like, I can write. I believe it's just I can write a story. I can probably just scribble something down. No. That is why it's called a skill. You need to learn how to do proper research, how to include keywords, how the formatting. That is why I mentioned those 3 core steps in content writing: preparing, writing, and editing of content. So after you've prepared by research, you now write. It could be 500 word article, 300 word article, 400 word article, 1,000 words, 5,000 words, 2,000 words, 10,000 words, as many as you write them. Then the editing, your headings, something called heading 1, heading 2, how to put in hyperlinks, how to number properly. Some persons will just write an article and write 1. Okay, these are the various these are the top 5 Samsung phones. 22. Number 1, Samsung Galaxy Ultra, some, etc. Number 2, no. And one of the standard ways of numbering items is using the hashtag 1, full stop, then space, and the phone or whatever item you want to number. Then while you may ask, how do I start doing all these? What are headings? What are keywords and all that? That is why we have apps like Google Doc. Google Doc is like the standard app most content writers used to write. Why? Because you can easily share the link. Because you can share the link. You can include hyperlinks. Hyperlinks is, when you're in an article, you would see, for example, on the top 5 Samsung phones, you see the introduction could be over 2 billion, according to statistics, 2 billion persons or people use Samsung phones currently. And you notice that according to statistics, 2 billion people has a different color from the general color, text color. So that's what they did there, was to include the hyperlink of where they got that statistics from.
What do you like most about content writing? I mean, when you write for clients, what is the part of it that you enjoy the more?
Well, I enjoy the fact that I'm helping this brand. Like the fact that this brand's visibility is a bit, a bit dependent on what I'm doing. The fact that I am giving a voice to this product, this service, I'm bringing more visibility to this blog. I am helping someone out there understand more about this product or this service or this app. Because I remember when I wrote about 100, I was up to 100 articles. They came in batches 30, up to 100 articles on various SaaS, it's called software. So I was like, the fact that, okay, someone is going to read this. And okay, there was time I wrote on streaming websites. Like, okay, the fact that, okay, someone wants to watch a movie and wants to check out, okay, which app is best or which website is best to stream movies online. And this person is going to read my work and is going to say, okay, this sounds very convincing. Okay, wow, let me check out this website. So the fact that it just gave me this sense of purpose that I am doing something, I am adding value to a company, I am giving visibility to a brand. I am helping this brand get more customers. And okay, I was going to talk about that later, but at the beginning I mentioned I am also a business connector. So on my website, there's something I wrote about the fact that growing up, and even when I was in the university as an undergraduate in law, I always had passion and enthusiasm for business, and I always loved what I mainly do is connect clients to owner. So I could just, see someone that has this service, someone that maybe sells male and female accessories. And I call my friends, and friends say, oh, I need someone that sells male and female accessories. I'm like, okay, look no further. I have this person and I recommend. I know that is almost like affiliate marketing, in quotes and all that. And what people do is, earn commissions from it. But I did this for years without asking for commissions, literally, because it just gave me this joy that, okay, this person's business is doing well because of me. This person told me about his business and I spread it out there. I gave him visibility. I got customers. He made sales. He grew in his business. I'm just happy that I was a great part of his output and results. So when I now learned writing, I connected the whole thing. Oh, I loved to preach the good news about people's businesses and get them clients. And now here I am writing content for businesses and doing the same thing I used to do with my mouth, with my hands.
That is powerful.
Yeah.
That is energy.
Yeah, the fact that I am a part of someone's story. We're talking about everybody having a story, but being part of someone's success story is a big deal. Is strong. You understand? So being part of a company's success story, okay, they have this content writer who deliver supplies content that converts, that brings a lot of traffic to their site, that get them a lot of results and all that. So that's the goal. So sometimes people just, and aside that, one thing I would also tell, potential writers out there is stand out, be unique, because trust me, at the point, it would seem like the market is saturated. Content everyone is talking about. At the time I knew about content writing, it wasn't as, popular as it is right now. Now everyone is talking content writing, everyone is talking freelancing, everybody wants to be a writer. So it seems like the market is getting saturated, though I don't think it could ever, but it's possible that people could, really, really go into that niche. So it's important that you stand out as a writer. There's so many writers out there, and writers are still in demand. But then it's important that you are different. What makes you different? Your content, what qualities do they have? Do you just, because what people do most times is to use fluff words. They just maybe exaggerate the entire sentence. They just maybe mention a word about 2 or 3 times, use all these prepositions and adjectives just to, make the word count up to, you understand? But a credible, prolific writer would make proper research, own what he has researched and what he has gotten from his research. Own it. There's one time I wrote an article, a legal article. As a lawyer, I write legal articles also. I was writing about, I think, burglary and larceny. I was like just differentiating it. And in that article, I had to watch YouTube videos for a 500 or 1,000 word article. I took my time to watch YouTube videos. I sat down, imagined it in my mind. Okay, so this is what this is. Breaking into someone's house and taking stuff, breaking into someone's house in the night. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Okay, but someone would just, a shallow writer would just go to Google, what's the difference between burglary and larceny? They would maybe see the results on the homepage, the search engine results pages, and just maybe copy and paste something. Maybe just quickly paraphrase it, because that's what actually happens right now. So to stand out, you cannot definitely be one of those that will just go and copy and paste, or copy something, paraphrase it just to avoid plagiarism. Meanwhile, plagiarism is like taking someone's work, like copying and pasting someone what is already there. If you check it on editing tools like Grammarly, Copyscape, Hemingway, and all that, you would see plagiarism. So another thing you should do as a writer is for your article, your content to be original. If they are full of plagiarized stuff, it wouldn't really be bad. It would taint your reputation as a writer, and people won't hire you. So to avoid plagiarism and to have quality content, if you are given a topic, it's not bad to even take out time, maybe take a walk. If you're writing about pets, take a walk, go to your neighbor, say, okay, let me spend like 30 minutes with you. Let me just study your dog and see what it behaves like when it's angry. Is it sick? Can you just tell me what it's not bad at all. That is what makes writers out there stand out. When you're reading the article, they're like, yes, it's true. You would relate to what they are writing. But if all you are planning to do is to just research, copy and paste and paraphrase, that won't end well at all. So that's it.
And imagine that in the example that you gave now, a freelancer is asked to write an article about a dog, and he or she managed to go to meet a physical dog, or maybe the dog owner, and have an interaction. And maybe in the story, she inject in that interaction that they had. That is a different story altogether. They make it more human.
You is how people, you want to need to reach out again for jobs. Just maybe you write this as a sample and just send. People would rush to hire, because everyone is looking for that originality. That's because when you see a fake, when you just see something that was just copied from the internet, from Google, everyone goes to Google, just copy. And another thing I would tell potential writers out there is, when you're writing your articles, avoid .com websites, normal websites, because sometimes you would mistakenly put the competitor's website. For example, you might be writing for a pet's blog or pet's website, and they ask you, okay, write 5 ways to know your dog is happy, or 5 ways to keep your dog happy always. And you're not like, okay, you want to start by saying that the happiness of dogs cannot be overemphasized, because dogs are like man's best friend. And over the years, dogs have met about 80% needs of man. And maybe that's over the years, they have met 80% needs of man. Like, that's statistics, obviously. And where you're getting that another pets blog. Do you understand what I'm saying? And you now add it as a hyperlink to that sentence. You are saying that whoever is reading that article is reading your client's article, that is the blog that gave you the contract. And in that article is seeing another pet blog website. Do you understand what I'm saying? So instead of using maybe a link, an external link of a competitor, like that, as your client owns a pet blog, and you are bringing in information from another blog that writes about pets and putting their link, that's your client's article. It doesn't make sense. The writer is wrong. So if you want to include links in your article, it's best you go to all these government websites where they have records, or like statistics, like
Or even proper statistics. There are studies. There are a lot of documents out there that are not necessarily the competitor. Because of course, if you are selling the competitor there, now it meaning that of course people are coming to your website or the website of your client and they are bouncing out to the competitor, and that is not, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. All right, now tell me shortly, what is the role of SEO research about the article that you are writing? What is the role of SEO in all this? And okay, SEO and research.
Okay, SEO is what SEO means is search engine optimization. So it's just all about, in layman's words, making the article rank on Google and any other relevant search. Google is like our number one, so that's it. So how it works is most of the time with keywords. Sometimes you would have to search out these keywords yourself. There are tools like Software SEO. I think SEMrush, only SEMrush is there, but Software SEO, you search for keyword, that you look for your keywords and other stuff that would, make the article, so that when someone comes to search top 5 best, I used this example before, top 5 best Samsung phones 2022. If the first article there, whether we like it or not, is the article that met all the SEO requirements, both the keywords, in the everything about the article. Maybe the keywords, they used words, or they just applied some practices. It's called SEO best practices that would, make that article rank. So, but the unfortunate thing is that now, in a bid to just make an article rank, or whoever wants the article to be number one on Google. So sometimes people don't really, as I said before, put that originality, put that work. You understand? So that is what then research. I think I already answered this question when I was making the explanation earlier about research. It is not just about going on Google and typing the topic you are given to write on, and now copying and pasting, turning it upside down, changing the sentence format just for it to look different, and then that's all. Make proper research. Sometimes include graphs, include a pie chart. If they are talking about, okay, like I was saying, writing about burglary and larceny, different. At some point, we had to include a pie chart showing where burglary takes, where the crime, the offense of burglary is more prevalent in the US. We took a study. So sometimes you have to go in depth, like bring out all there is to know about that topic. Don't rush, don't be under pressure to meet up the word count. Oh yeah, I'm writing 1,000 words and I'm only supposed to pay $200 for that. If I'm writing 1,500 words or 1,200 words, that's like 200 words short of what I'm supposed to earn. No, that is a very shallow way to think. You need to, I remember when I wrote an article for an event planning, a wedding stuff. So I forgot at the point I forgot about the word count. I just made sure I exhausted everything she wanted to, learn. She will not learn everything she wanted that article to contain. And what was said was 1,000 words or thereabout, but I ended up writing about 1,700 words or thereabouts. And I was like, no, I have to exhaust your readers. They need to read this and know all there is to know. So write without holding back. Make research. Even if it will take you watching a YouTube video, playing, like I wrote about the League of Legends game. I wrote about Among Us, one of those popular games, epic games. And some of these games, we had even some of the apps. I remember when I wrote on, I forgot, what was the name of the app again? And one of these apps, we literally had to play that game. We literally had to use those apps. So when we come, okay, how to use Zoom? Okay, Zoom is one of, the world is becoming a virtual place, a global village. Everyone wants to connect online, and due to the recent pandemic, it's quite difficult to, meet someone, have physical meetings, offline meetings. So Zoom is one of the ways where it's one of the apps that makes this easier. Okay, with Zoom, we can connect to anyone around the world. You can have meetings without running through the traffic. This is my introduction now with the article in writing about Zoom. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So in this article, we're going to look at Zoom, its features, how to use it, and so many other things. Okay, let's go. Now we looked at the importance of Zoom and its significance. Now let's look at the features. Number one, it has this. Number two, it's free, it's easy to use. Just log in, come on board, put in your name. So if as a host, you could prepare a link by this. Then how to use. You can see when you open the app, you would see it by the left and right side. You would see an icon with join meeting. Although I'm just giving a rough example, but by the time you break these things down and explain this Zoom, somebody will read it and go and download Zoom and start using Zoom. I don't know if you are with me. Yes. So before we'll go on Google, type Zoom and copy and paste what's written there. Zoom is one of the apps, it's an app for video meeting. In this article, we discuss Zoom. Features: one, it can be downloaded on Play Store. Two, just write things that have no emotion, have no originality, just write anyhow. How to use, you may just end up leaving it blank. So, okay, then the standard one I was giving was, after writing the features, writing how to use, when you open the app, you will see this. If you want to host, click this, click that. If you are invited, simply click on the link. It can open in your browser, or if you have the app, which I advise you to have the app, better than using the browser. You are writing to the person as if you are giving an advice, as if you have the person's best interest at heart. Do you understand? So it's good that way. Then after writing that, you write the pros and cons. Pros: Zoom is an amazing app. Because of Zoom, we can have meetings, we can do this. You don't need to do it's user-friendly. You don't need to go and search, turn over the internet just to know how to use it. It's user-friendly. It's self-explanatory. Cons: well, it consumes a lot of data sometimes, and meetings aren't usually, you can't have like 1 hour straight. You have to cut at some point. But the good thing is that you create another link and continue from where you stopped. You see, you are explaining things, but at the same time, making the person see business. Then after this, you now say, okay, final thoughts or conclusion. Now you know all there is to know about Zoom. Your next virtual meeting will make more sense if you use Zoom. Download and enjoy Zoom today.
Powerful.
Wow.
That's great.
These things that we see online that keep us glued to the screen of our phones. It's powerful content, it's quality content, it's rich content that people can relate to. So as a writer, even if it takes you 2 days, do your research. And another thing is the flowing. Flowing in when you are writing. When I say writing, I used to be a bit rigid because I used to see it as article, as one write-up, like a project. So I was always being official. I was, holding back. But at some point I was like, no, this is just like me explaining something. So just like me calling my junior brother. Okay, do you want to learn how to use this bicycle? Okay, how to use do you want to learn how to drive a car? Okay, how to use 2022 limited edition Toyota Highlander. Okay, so first of all, remember, it's important to always have your seatbelt on when driving. It's always important to check your brakes, check the fuel. You are just, when you're writing, take it as though you are explaining something to your junior brother or to your friend or to your grandma or to your parents. Don't remove that idea. Oh, I'm writing an article, I'm writing a project. Hey, I need to be, oh my God, I don't want to, I don't want to mess this up. I need to be on my toes. No, just relax and flow as if you are having a conversation. It will make it easier. And as you're doing that, you become more creative, more points begin to come in. You understand? So
Thank you so much for that. Just relax. That's the important part of it.
Yeah,
No, just relax and flow. All right. How will someone connect with you? This is very important for me. At least I want you to say yourself, say your business. No, people want to connect with you. How would they get to know you? Just quickly do that. Please go ahead.
Oh, okay. Okay, you're calling with me via my LinkedIn page, Frances Ezepue on LinkedIn, Facebook, Frances Ezepue. My website is wendysconnect.com. I sent that to you in my bio. So wendysconnect.com. It's my Gmail is Frances Chirendu or francesxwork@gmail.com. So you could just reach out to me and let's talk.
Thank you so much for the conversation. I really enjoy it.
Wow, this was very awesome. Mr. Obehi, God bless you.
If you enjoy this podcast, make sure you subscribe so you never miss any of our future episodes. Rate and review Obehi Podcast and share with your friends who might need it. I remain Obehi Ewafo. Thank you so much for listening and talk to you in the next episode.